Welcome back to Star Trek Critic. Today we analyze the episode with the longest name, For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. The Enterprise comes upon a generational ship that's taking the descendants of a dying planet to a new home, but after thousands of years, they have forgotten it's a ship and think they are on a planet. The first thing the ship does is fire at the Enterprise. Look closely, that's not Sulu on the left, so already minus 1 point. Now watch as Kirk comes in and talks to Spock. You'll see that again later. The missiles are being fired at the Enterprise, and Scotty mentions that they are chemically fueled since he supports the Green New Deal. Kirk tells Chekhov to get high. Kirk says the magic words, and the target is destroyed. Nurse Chapel rats out Dr. McCoy. Look closely. As she leaves, she covers the back of her skirt so Kirk won't grab her butt. The next point is lost for making up a fake terminal disease as a plot device. Xenopolycythemia, also known as
immediate postprandial upper abdominal distension.
Who says men can't die of cramps? In today's world, anything can happen. McCoy says, please don't tell anyone, and the first thing he does after the commercial break is tell Starfleet and the audience, so minus 1 point since we already knew. Here you see this same scene over again like they had a little while ago, so minus 1 point. The next point is lost since Spock says the object is 200 miles in diameter. They should be on the metric system in space by now. At first Spock says it's a typical asteroid, but then he just goes on and on and on and on saying that it's a spaceship that looks like one. He also mentions it's passing through this solar system, but not the system with the planet it is heading to. I'm curious myself because it should be powered to go around solar systems. Now for some more 20th century Earth bashing, because atomic power is very archaic. And now he has to mention the radiation. Spock is a hippie at heart. I'll bet he's going to mention something similar later on in his career.
There was a dubious flirtation with nuclear fission reactors, resulting in toxic side effects.
Either the scanners can't get through the asteroid's shell, or it is blocking their sensor probes, since it can read a breathable atmosphere, but no people. Either that or they really couldn't make up their mind when they were writing the script. The next point is lost, and Spock already knows the destination of the asteroid. They're in 5, and even the population, without even looking it up. Theoretically, Chekhov would have gotten the destination when he plotted the course. Incredible! The time of impact is about how much time McCoy has left. The next point is lost for only one set of turbolift doors. I think I saw him in a blue shirt last week. One more point is lost for the captain and first officer beaming down together, and another point for not bringing any security, and one more point since they are in slightly different positions when they land. You're on the surface of a planet, just like a Twilight Zone episode. This is one of the rare times they say transport complete. They should know about generational ships in the 23rd century, so minus 1 point. This was a spaceship. All that's left is smoke and rocks. Look closely. There are no footprints in the sand as they walk up. Shout out to the set designers. Spock's results after scanning Congress. Their scanners are really no help at all on this asteroid. Now for a good old-fashioned fistfight. McCoy does a good roll and then he sees the girl of his dreams. This looks a lot like a scene from the original Battlestar Galactica. The bell is out of order, but don't knock, just wave your arms. Since she doesn't have a belly button, she might be a genie. This is a perfectly good that's what she said moment, because that's what she said. Of course, they don't really kneel, they get shoved to the ground. She kneels too, caused by 10,000 years of not knowing you are triggering motion sensors. While she's summoning the Oracle, Kirk, McCoy, and even Spock are thinking, she has her dress on backwards.
Yes!
Now they're whispering behind her back like school children, and they get into trouble.
Maybe they don't realize it.
Natira sings Kirk's favorite Who song. The Oracle is a bit of an asshole. This is what happens when you let a computer take over your lives. And minus 1 point for fake falling. While McCoy recovers, Spock contemplates how much the wall decorations will sell for on eBay. And once again, Kirk tells somebody of McCoy's fatal disease. He sucks at doctor-patient confidentiality. McCoy sings his favorite song from Caddyshack. Now comes that weird predicament where they might not be able to tell these people that they are on a spaceship. Of course, the Prime Directive wasn't created to protect Native peoples, it was to recreate controversy in the TV series. Here comes the biggest surprise of all of Star Trek's secret history. This was never theme music for Vina, it was for the old man all this time. The old man welcomes them to the planet by giving them drugs. Listen to the music. It's the same as the Telosian's evil music. Once again, he's an illusion. Looks like McCoy has tasted these things before. The old man's looking at him like, who are you calling ancient? In Return of the Archons, didn't he say, you're not of the body? Looks like that drug is having its effect on Kirk. Now the old man sings his favorite Dr. Seuss song, Outside, Up There, Everywhere. The old man confesses his actions. He climbed the highest mountain and quoted the name of the episode, which is Breaking the Fourth Wall, so the producers killed him for it. McCoy thinks the episode is called He's Dead and I Have Touched the Sky. They have serious migraines on this planet. Now they know it is forbidden for the inhabitants to know they live on a spaceship. And it would be breaking the Prime Directive to tell them, wouldn't it? Anytime someone asks what happened, and the answer is, we don't know, you know they are lying. Here are three old men who are sometimes foolish. Her little prayer says she knows what he did and she thinks he deserved it. So she's in on the whole thing, isn't she? It sounds like he was her slave, and then she tells the guy named Gently to take him away. At least she shows concern over someone in pain that the Oracle didn't cause. The Oracle zaps them, then says to treat them as honored guests. What an asshole. Kirk tells McCoy that since she likes him, he can seduce information out of her while he and Spock sneak around the ship to find more stuff. Is this the way they do things in the future? This is Natira's way of saying she wants to jump him. Now she tells Kirk and Spock to go out and about and meet the people. This is because she wants McCoy all to herself. The expression on the woman's face in the orange says she knows what's up. She says the Oracle knows the minds and hearts of all the people, which means the Oracle is data mining like Facebook. And you get punished if you talk too much. The Oracle is Facebook after all. She sings her favorite song from Mother Mother. She really has the hots for him, doesn't she? Here it sounds like she knows more than she lets on. This means McCoy is going to get lucky tonight.
Yes!
This means he's going to get really lucky. And that's not where the thought's going to rest right now. One thing that is never explained is how the spaceship is designed inside to look like a planet. She really wants him, although she might want to check on his medical condition first before she makes that plunge. McCoy says he's lonely. If you read old books about the Star Trek series, Trek canon said McCoy had a daughter who would have been introduced in the fourth season if they had one. I think she only appeared once in the Marvel comics. He's going to tell her his big secret, but Natira doesn't seem to care. And now she gets really mushy with him.
Aww.
Even when he tells her that he has only 1 year to live, she still doesn't care and says they will make the best of it. Did she really fall in love with him at first sight? Or is it that the men of Yonada just don't have what she is looking for, and compared to them, McCoy is hung like a horse? We will never know. Well, she knows.
He had the hands of a surgeon.
Now she gives McCoy an old-fashioned hickey. It's a sign of things to come. Spock recognizes the language as Fabrini, and they know a little about the planet's history. But if they know that much, there should have been some record of them sending an ARC ship out. Or they could have had the Enterprise scientists look it up, but they didn't, so minus 1 more point. Kirk says the problem is to get in. It doesn't look like McCoy is having the same problem. Spock learns the secret hand gesture, and this looks just a little familiar. They're trying to be as quiet as possible, but it looks like the Oracle is asleep. Kirk challenges the Oracle to a staring contest. The next point is lost for not using the tricorder to translate the writing on the wall, which they should be able to do since Spock recognizes it. 8 planets. Even on Fabrini, they voted out Pluto.
Aww.
This is perfect timing for them. Ironically, Natira and the Oracle both say it is written that the priestess can choose her own mate. So, why does she ask the Oracle for permission? Just so it can tell about the object of obedience. So, minus 1 point for a plot device. Kirk and Spock are thinking, why does she still have her dress on backwards? So it turns out opening the door electrifies the intruders. They actually animated sparks coming off of them. Natira's dress matches the table. The punishment for what they did is death. So McCoy says he will stay and be her little man toy if she will let them go. Natira thinks that's a fair trade, letting them go so she can land her man. Why are they beaming back to the Enterprise on the fake surface of the planet when it would actually be deeper inside the asteroid? They still have to maintain that illusion that they are actually on a real planet. Spock says he is being illogical, and he's right. McCoy still has to fill out his resignation paperwork, but he didn't, so minus 1 more point. Kirk threatens to blow up the asteroid. McCoy is convinced he's going to die anyway, so doesn't see any reason to go back. Of course, he already read the rest of the script and knows of the medical secrets stored on the asteroid. Spock and Kirk beam back to the Enterprise, and McCoy is thinking, good, they're gone, I'm going to go get laid. They have really weird weddings on this asteroid. Here comes the safe sex talk of the 60s TV shows. You have to ask for consent. I think they both want to, and now it looks like they're going to do it right here in front of the Oracle.
Yes!
Does Natira ever realize she is wearing old used curtains, just like the kids on The Sound of Music? Natira sticks the object of obedience in McCoy's head, and now they are of one mind, which means they are the Borg. This episode has many similarities to Return of the Archons. McCoy's ready to get down to business. He plans to do this for the whole year. Natira shows McCoy the Book of the People, which she has never read, but has everything in it she needs to know. They are going to the New World, which means they are pilgrims. Natira is convinced she doesn't need to know anything until the time comes. According to the captain's log, only an hour has passed, so minus 1 point, and minus 1 more point for a captain's log talking down to the audience like we forgot everything that happened before the commercial break. The next point is lost because the mark on that monitor is still there after 3 years. The Admiral says, quit chasing the asteroid. But it looks like Starfleet is going to come up with a plan about the asteroid ship Yanada. And Kirk's like, shit, I wanted to come up with my own plan. What kind of a statue is this? Spock can't even look at Kirk when he says it's time to move on. But first, a call from Dr. McCoy. If McCoy resigned, why does he still have a communicator with him? He was so enamored by Natira, he didn't realize he just did what killed the old man. The next point is lost for McCoy putting his arm out while he does a fall. That's a serious migraine there. The next point is lost for Kirk and Spock beaming to Yanada together, and another point taken for not bringing security, since they did get the death penalty here. Natira really doesn't like these two. She accuses them of killing McCoy, and then she says, help him until you are dead. Spock is thinking, didn't we just do this with the old man? Natira is pissed. So while Kirk tries explaining the asteroid to Natira, he grabs her 3 times. Is this because she's trying to go and call the guards, or is he just being a creepy womanizer? Remember this? I think it's a little of both, but she was freaking out and they thought she was going to call the guards and have them killed. So I will take 1 point here for that action notwithstanding the test of time. He looks so angry here. She's discovering social media controls the narrative. She's getting a really bad headache right now. Kirk says, we can fix that for you. And look, he grabs her again. But she didn't call security, so Kirk got through to her a little bit. The Oracle tells her to unfriend the unbelievers, or she will be punished. Now she wants to know the whole story, and the Oracle says, I gave it to you. Now apologize for questioning me. In reality, the Oracle causes these headaches because he owns stock in all the aspirin companies. And watch, she falls much better than McCoy, Kirk, or Spock. Check this out. Kirk grabs her arm again. Natira calls McCoy her husband, and Kirk is asking, what have you been doing on this planet? McCoy unscrews her head, and all the viewers who suffer from migraines wish this piece of technology was here today. Kirk argues with the computer, saying they're only trying to help. While the Oracle tries to cook them, Spock loses a point for calling out temperatures in Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. Kirk tries to save the planet while Spock says, hey, it's hot in here. This looks a lot like a book about Chicago mobs of the 20s. Minus 1 more point for Spock being fluent in a 10,000-year-old ancient language. From this angle, it looks like all the pages are blank, so nobody in 10,000 years thought of pushing that big button in the middle. Minus 1 more point for Spock magically knowing which buttons will turn off the heat. They never do get her out of the heat. It's still hot in there, he needs to get her out of that room completely. So minus 1 more point. The next point is lost for magically knowing how to readjust the course of the asteroid. They should have beamed over a team of engineers and worked on it for weeks. Natira still wants to be the leader of her people. McCoy wants to look for a cure for his disease. And it makes no sense for McCoy wanting to leave right now, because nothing has really changed with his life. And minus 1 more point for Spock magically finding a cure to McCoy's disease right before the end of the show. McCoy is cured by Yonadan knowledge, but why doesn't he go back to the asteroid and spend some vacation days with Natira? And the last point is lost for the Enterprise not sending over a research team to help Natira explain to the people of Yonada what has been going on for the last 10,000 years, because that's a part of their job and she is going to need their help really bad. So, who were the Yonadans? First, let's recognize this man, Frank Da Vinci, who was the stand-in for Leonard Nimoy for 78 of the episodes and an extra in 53 of the episodes as Lieutenant Brent and several other characters, either crew or aliens. The year of his death, Pepperdine University of Malibu founded the Frank James Buddy Da Vinci and George B. Ellsworth Scholarship, awarded to applicants who emphasize service and volunteerism dedicated to improving the mental and physical health of the LGBT community. Byron Morrow was the admiral, and was also an admiral in Amok Time last year, and served in the Pacific during World War II. He has been in a whopping 240 movies and TV shows including Lost in Space, Get Smart, and Super Train.
Yes!
John Lormer was in The Cage along with Leonard Nimoy and Majel Barrett, and in Return of the Archons. He has 175 screen credits to his name, including tons of westerns, 4 episodes of Twilight Zone, and The Incredible Hulk. Catherine Woodville played Natira, and has 60 screen credits, including Mission Impossible, Wonder Woman, and Salvage 1. She also had a career raising horses and for a while was married to Patrick McNee. The Oracle played himself and was voiced by James Doohan. For The World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky, a show about a generational ship gone bad, gets a score of 71%. Thanks for viewing. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists. Click that like button, the share button, and that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.